Y'all check out our video on how we learned to use our sawmill. We'll leave a link in the description above.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're back out here at the 04 today. We're going to get this thing started today. I guarantee it. Maybe. Got Frank here. He knows about anything we want to know about this. What is your specialty?
Backhoes.
All right, we're still going to get it done. Y'all come on.
Tony's Tractor Adventure.
All right, we're back out here at the tractor. I've got my parts. I got my generator and a little fan blowing over here. Some fresh gasoline, tools, oil. I got everything in my big tool rack on the back of Rufus, so we're gonna get started. All right, I got this old battery here. We had it here before. It's a really old battery. It turned it over, but we're gonna go ahead and pop this dude out. Man. I'm telling you what, I've never seen. That's like electric line for a house or something, like a double aught or something. I don't know. It's huge. I can't hardly bend it. There's my positives off. So we're going to start with, we checked the oils the last time we were here. Everything is good. Turn around this way. There ain't no really great way to do this. I get beat up all the time for taking a crescent wrench and like hammering, tapping, not hammering, but tapping the top of the battery cable. They're like, don't you know how bad that is for a battery? I'm like, do you have any idea what this thing does bouncing around inside of this tractor? My little love taps are not hurting this battery. No. All right, so I got my negative on, positive on. Let's just see. I'm going to step back because last time this thing was in gear. Did we have to arc that last time? I don't remember. I got all kind of tools at home, but when you come out here, you don't have what you need. So I'm just going to scrape it off with a screwdriver on the inside here, make shiny marks. This is a brand new battery. I just got it off the charger. It showed fully charged and a really good battery. It better be for what batteries cost nowadays. Get over the side. All right, I see where we go. We got bad ground right here on the actual terminal. So that looks like a 7/6. This battery cable right here is probably corroded on the inside. There's a lot of nasty right there. Shine it up that way. These are all professional mechanic tips right here. This is exactly how you're supposed to do it. We got what we got. Most people understand, but there's always those few that like this. You're doing it so wrong. You're teaching people to do it wrong. Teaching people how to. Really ain't really out here teaching nobody nothing. Just wanting to see if we can get this thing running. If we can get it running, they need to use this too, by the way. So if we can get this thing running, get all the fluids checked and get it running, they got a job for it right away. I'm gonna get some hate for this right here.
Closer. Wait.
All right, let's see what happens now. I believe the hammer is going to make all the difference. If Hank Hamilton was here, he'd use a crescent wrench to hit it. All right, let's see if it'll just bump. Oh, that's all we want. That's all we want. Now we know that's done. We got a little juice, so we're going to let that sit right there. In fact, I'm going to leave it hanging out there just a little bit. It's okay. I ain't got it on permanent. All right. So we're in the on position. So I should theoretically be able to get me some juice here at the resistor here. 12 volts. That's a good sign. 12 volts coming out. That's a good sign. So actually that resistor is good. 12 volts going into the coil. Alright, so I'm alright. We get to here, but I'm going to run this a little bit different. I got a coil with an internal resistor, so we don't need this resistor right here. That'll make it a little bit more simple. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the blower and blow all this weeds and stuff out of here and see if we get a little cleaner working area. Frank's our master mechanic. Look at that. Oh, it fell out. Where'd it go?
We'll find it.
Yeah. Well, that's the beautiful thing about these old ones is that everything's standard. Half inch, you can go get a half-inch bolt, it'll work.
And that one's going to be a tough angle. There we go.
Ain't gonna get it. Ah, you got it.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, you little face.
Third.
Yeah, so this is the new coil.
See if we can get the nut off of there.
Okay.
Let's go.
I got slick 'em.
Let's do it. I believe you got it, man.
I don't want to twist it too. That's it, ain't?
Success.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some slick 'em on this.
Teamwork.
It's only about 90 degrees out here today, maybe about 87, but the humidity's a lot lower. But still, this is pathetic what I did. I brought my fan to blow on us, and then I got my little Predator generator over here on the back of the big tool rack, just purring along, blowing a cool breeze on us. Little. All right, so I'm gonna take the spade self off, and we'll just keep. All right. I have a hole in my hand, my left hand. See?
Oh, I see.
That little piece of finger missing. I dropped more things out of the end of that. Coins. I bet you I've lost $2-3 since I've had them fingers cut off.
With the coin shortage and all.
Helping a brother out.
Now I'm telling you.
All right, so we got this. All right, so we got to switch back. You got the ratchet. I got the screwdriver. Back in the old days of the slotted screw, this thing is when this was born right here. Can't tell me times I stabbed myself with a screwdriver. Right, there it went. Got to that WD-40, didn't it?
Yeah, now it's freely turning.
All right, well, if you'll hold it, I will. Oh, you.
Go with it.
Because it don't need to.
Evidently at least two.
Depending on how old it is, ain't there? Depending on how old it is and how old we are. Honestly, I'm in my favorite part of my life.
Yeah, life's pretty sweet.
It is, huh? You don't really care what people think so much.
Filters are broken.
Yeah, your filter. Yeah, that's for a fact right there. That's good. Little WD-40, them little holes. Little WD-40 on the bolts. One right here. All right. That little WD-40 made all the difference. Slip right in there. I don't know if this one's going to be able to get to it as easy. Set them over here out of the way so I can see. Our hydraulic line is right in the way. But it moves. It's attached to a rubber hose. So I'm going to move it. That's going to make all the difference in the world right there. I did this one time before years ago, more than once, but I put a coil on, put all new parts on it, and it did the exact same thing. Turns out that the old coil was bad and the new coil was bad too. And you talking about warping your head, I was like, well, it can't be this. I just replaced it, and turned out the new coil was bad. from the factory. It happens. Everything. All right, I'm going to go ahead and assume that they sent me the right coil, because it said on the, when I ordered it, that this coil did not need a it did not need a
So
resistor.
we're not gonna put
All right, so instead of the old black tape, we're going to use a splice. All right, you got.
You're squeezing it, right?
Crushing it. The actual right tools. So that's that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is remove the distributor cap. But I don't want to chase down wires, so I'm leaving the.
It was good last time we checked it.
Yeah, we're going to. What was good last time we checked it?
Uh,
It didn't run. You can't say anything to it last
it
time.
was very clean and everything. And
Yeah, but we got all brand new stuff, and the points. Most likely, what has happened is the condenser. The little caps. A little doohickey come out of the bottom.
loose washer again. Just shock yourself.
Shouldn't have. Woo! That's off.
Bring it up.
Be a lot less likely that we would lose some parts if we were in a shop. You see what I see?
see what you see.
Comes with its own feeler gauge.
Nice.
I like it. So I left mine at home. We'll put that in there. That coil, yeah, it's just slid down and tightened up. That's a tiny little dude again, ain't it? That looks like something smaller than I got here. And too big for a crescent wrench to get in there. Okay, that'll work. I can't remember the last time I set some points. I think it's on an old mower I had. That's the last points I set. I had a 1980, no, it was a 70s truck had points on it. Had a 1960 Ford F350. That definitely had some points on it. And I bought one of them kits originally that you could change it out to electronic ignition, and it worked. I mean, that would crank quick. There.
Yeah.
Okay. I just never realized that I could probably turn this around. I'm telling you, you don't do this stuff. I mean, this is not.
You have to stop and think a little bit.
Yeah. You don't do it very often. All right, so I got one screw for this. That was the other side. That was the cool one. I don't know that it would matter. They probably all say this looks like it's been changed out. Let's see if we. Gosh, that screw is so old. Alright, so we got the condenser in. So, the condenser is in. Now, the next thing we're going to put in, new set of points, right?
Yes, sir.
People that don't know, this rides on a little cam on the distributor. As this shaft rotates around, it's got high spots and low spots. So it opens the point and then closes it. Every time it closes, it takes a built-up charge out of the coil and sends it to the spark plug to spark. So every time it closes, spark, 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 spark. School's out for summer. There's a song like that. I know it. Yep.
Who's that?
For some. Yeah. Who sang that?
Alice Cooper.
There you go. I knew that. He sang Poison too. Poison. That was like late stuff. I'm editing all that out.
That's old school. That's back when music was music.
Oh yeah. I agree.
I mean, you're old now.
I'm not old.
We're not old. We're just experienced. We're vintage.
Vintage, that's exactly
You
right.
don't have to turn the engine over just a tiny bit to get it on the flat side of the distributor shaft. Let's see, am I right? Yeah. Wait, I got it wrong. On the high points when we were supposed to set the points on. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm
Rusty?
yeah, I'm rusty on the points. It's been so that so
Just a bit more to go.
that's it right there. We'll call that. See if I can roll it a little bit. The smart thing to do is go around and put a ratchet on the crankshaft and turn it over, but this is so much easier. Is it on it?
That's close.
That's on it.
Yep.
Still on the high spot. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take my feeler gauge. Make sure this is off so I'm not sparking nothing. Take my screwdriver and I'm going to pull back the points. Can you see?
No.
I'm going to put the feeler gauge in between the points. So we're on the high spot right now. So then I'm going to take my finger and just push up forward like such. Want that feeler gauge to stay in there. So you want to just push up where it's touching, it's not moving around, you're going to tighten everything down. Alright, I tightened it a little, it slipped off. It's still pretty good, but I'm going to pull it back on the front. Now it's just a little bit of pressure. I mean just a little bit of pressure as I put that feeler gauge through there. Then I'm going to tighten the front one down. Gosh, that old screw has seen its better days. But it's going to work one more. Alright, that's tight. And that's tight. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is our little condenser there. Condenser, is that what I'm trying to say? Ain't that what the little round thing is, the condenser? See, I've not done this in so long, I can't remember the words. So, bird is the word, that's right. So I tightened that down earlier and I forgot the condenser was on there too. So now I'm going to have to loosen it back up a little bit, which is no big deal. And put the condenser. You see that?
Yeah.
So I'm sliding the condenser in there. So the power wire goes to the points, and then the condenser wire goes to the points as well. And because that is such a tiny screw, I have nothing that can get in there with me currently at this location other than a pair of needle nose pliers. So let me sit down here so I can see what I'm doing. All you old timers out there are going to be making fun of me. I know it. Making fun of me. You don't know what you're doing. You know what? You're right.
End result.
End result. If it runs, we'll see. I know what I'm doing. All right. So this little dust cover thing back on. Now I need you get the little clip in it. I don't know if it's just that new or it's kind of tight. Maybe that's the thing. Used to the, the old rotor button be wore out. This thing's good and tight. Good and tight is the German torch specs. Good and tight. All right, so how do we know it's number one? It's got number one on it. It's crazy. So it was our when we were stationed over there, everybody would say "good and tight."
I had to think that for a second what it meant in German.
She speaks German as a first language, and there's number one right there.
And the only thing we know is ein Bier, bitte.
Yeah. Ich möchte ein Bier, bitte. Mit Pommes frites. Gotta have the beer and some French fries. That's all you could afford when you was a soldier over there. Poor. So we'll turn it like that. Okay, got one back here. One more little clippy thing. I wish I could show this to y'all, but ain't enough room but from my fingers in here. Alright, so we'll find number one, which is the first one. I don't spark plug them in there a day or four. So should we, you know what, I'm going to try it with these wires and the plugs that are in it. So that was number one I just took off. So that's number one, so it's going to be back here. Man, these things are rusted on. The rubber's rusted on. They're not. So what I'm doing is, instead of taking all the wires off, I've done that before, where you take all the wires off at once on a, and not think about it, just yank them all off, and then you got to go find the firing order of the tractor or whatever you're working on. It's almost more fun the more cylinders you have, like if it's a V8. It's always a much more fun game to get the firing order back right. All right, so now we got the center one, which is our coil wire. Put that over here in the coil. Alright, so I'm going to take this spark plug wire off here, pull that spark plug, and we'll see if it sparks. Is it just me, or is the end of that spark plug looks like it's missing? A little round knobby part. Or it's just dirty. Oh, it's just dirty. So what I'm going to do here is take this whole spark plug here, and all I'm doing is just making some marks on it. I'm just scuffing me a place up here that I can put me get me a ground. It's gonna be really hard to see in this sunlight if we have any fire. Alright, I felt it click in. And what I want you to do, Frank, if you hold this and with your tongue, you'll be all over it, won't you? Yeah, I asked her, I said, help me out. Lick this and tell me if it sparks or not. And she wouldn't do it.
Can't walk.
Get some of that rust off, find me something shiny. It's going to be really hard to see with the sun. I got it in the shade. They tried to crank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, stinks. We're shooting out the whole thing.
Tried to crank with 3 spark plugs.
Good sign.
That is a good sign. I don't want to run that old fuel through there though. That stuff's, oh, we smell it? Smell like varnish. So here's our little recap what we've got done so far. We got a fresh battery on it. We've got new points, new distributor cap, rotor button, condenser, and we put a coil on it that doesn't need an external resistor. So we disconnected that one, just bypassed it. We checked the plug. We ground it out on this to see if it sparked. Couldn't tell if it sparked because when I turned it over, it was trying to run on 3 cylinders. So I think we're pretty much safe to say we've got some spark somewhere. What we're going to do is drain some of this old fuel out and see if we can put some fresh fuel in this thing and get it running. I gotta pee. Now, what we're doing here is we're just going ahead. We only got a little bit of fuel left in it. We're going to go ahead and add this 5 gallons fuel, kind of dilute the fuels in there, and then once we get it running, we'll add some fuel, fuel injector cleaner, carburetor cleaner is what I'm trying to say, fuel and carburetor cleaner in it, and run it all through it, and then put all fresh fuel in it after that. I was enlisted mechanic for the longest time. I grew up as a mechanic too,
Yeah.
but then I became a warrant officer, so then I was really good at clipboards.
Oh, yeah.
Right. All right, what do you think?
I think we need to open up the shut-off valve up there and let a little bit flow through.
Yeah. Look, that old line there might have a kink in it too. There.
There we go.
Yeah, flush all the old out and get some of the mixed. There, yeah, it makes sense. So you grew up mechanicking. I like it.
Yes, sir. Not by choice, but
I understand.
I used to get a little angry sometimes when my dad would make me be out there in the shop helping all the time. But
Right.
now that I'm older, I'm thankful for those days.
Oh yeah, you know what? I always make fun. People make fun of how I grew up and everything. I was like, we fixed everything ourselves because we were so poor. If we didn't fix it,
It didn't happen.
yeah, it didn't happen. I'm like a good nurse here, handing you the scalpel, clamps, backside.
But when times get tough, would you rather be
Oh yeah.
really good friends with a guy that's a good hedge fund manager, or
Yeah.
a guy that can make a whiskey still from parts from a '73 Buick?
There you go. Choke this out. Look at that. Come on, baby. Oh, she wants to so bad. That old fuel's terrible. Come on, baby. You can do it. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's so close. Mm-mm. Oh, Lord have mercy. You see that?
Full of water.
Yep. Water just poured out of the carburetor. They don't run good on water. That old ether can been sitting over in the sun in the back of that black big tool rack, and that can's probably 150 degrees. Hot enough. Yeah, hot enough you can't hold on to it. That's why I handed it to you. What? I didn't say that out loud, did I? Right, here we go.
All right.
Come on. That's full choke right there. That's full choke.
As long as As I keep shooting ether to it, it'll.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, we really, at this point, we're probably to draining the carburetor, taking the carburetor off, and rebuilding the carburetor.
Will it run?
It does run. We know it runs. It just needs some work. Next thing we got to do is the carburetor. So, I tell you, I'll get the numbers off this and order a kit, but that's still pretty promising. Nah, fuel. We're not getting no fuel.
Smoking.
What do you think?
A lot of water coming out around the exhaust.
Oh yeah, I guarantee the valves are sitting there, they're full of water.
Yep.
Every rainstorm, all that water's coming down through. I can just see it showering. Every time you hit it, it's blowing water out.
Absolutely.
So, but the valves are still seating. They're not sticking, or it wouldn't run at all.
Exactly.
So right now we know we're down to, and it's hitting on all 4 cylinders. It's smooth.
Mhm.
So we're hitting on all 4 cylinders. So now we know we're down to a fuel delivery.
Got a gummed up carburetor.
Got a gummed up carburetor. So we'll get us a carburetor kit and go from there. We'll get the numbers off of it. That'll be our next video.
Frankie has to come back down for that.
Frankie, I come back down.
Good work.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, I really appreciate you watching our channel. We're going to get this thing going. I know we are. We're just so close, and this thing is so awesome. But I really appreciate you watching the channel. If you like what we do, hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon, and it'll let you know when we put something out new. And a butterfly just flew up my nose. God bless. Have a great day. Well, that's exactly what we got. I want to do one thing, though. Turn that key off this time.